The first Gospel of the Infancy of Jesus Christ. Chapter 2. The child circumcised in the cave, and the old woman preserving his foreskin or navel-string in a box of spikenard. Mary afterward anoints Christ with it. Christ brought to the temple. He shines. An angel stands around him adoring. Simeon praises Christ. And when the time of his circumcision was come, namely the 8th day on which the law commanded the child to be circumcised, they circumcised him in the cave. And the old Hebrew woman took the foreskin, others say she took the navel-string, and preserved it in an alabaster box of old oil of spikenard. And she had a son who was a druggist, to whom she said, Take heed thou sell not this alabaster box of spikenard ointment, although thou shouldst be offered 300 pence for it. Now this is that alabaster box which Mary the sinner procured, and poured forth the ointment out of it upon the head and feet of our Lord Jesus Christ, and wiped them off with the hairs of her head. Then after 10 days they brought him to Jerusalem, and on the 40th day from his birth they presented him in the temple before the Lord, making the proper offerings for him, according to the requirement of the law of Moses, namely that every male which opens the womb shall be called holy unto God. At that time old Simeon saw him shining as a pillar of light, when St. Mary the Virgin, his mother, carried him in her arms, and was filled with the greatest pleasure at the sight. And the angels stood around him, adoring him, as a king's guards stand around him. Then Simeon, going near to St. Mary, and stretching forth his hands towards her, said to the Lord Christ, Now, O my Lord, thy servant shall depart in peace, according to thy word. For mine eyes have seen thy mercy, which thou hast prepared for the salvation of all nations, a light to all people, and the glory of thy people Israel. Hannah the prophetess was also present, and drawing near, she gave praises to God, and celebrated the happiness of Mary.